Windows 11 is here for some of us. Microsoft has announced a big batch of new security features coming out shortly. We're going to talk about it, Mikey and I, on today's Not So Critical update. From VentureBeat.com, Microsoft announces major new Windows 11 security features for 2022. The cybersecurity team continuously faces a giant funnel of issues that need to be fixed, according to David Weston, Vice President of OS and Security Services at Microsoft. With the forthcoming security capabilities coming to Windows 11, that funnel is going to be much, much smaller. Big claims. They're going to solve security for Windows 11.
That's about time. It's only been 20 years in the making, or however long, 40 years. I don't know.
That is a big claim, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see. And by we, I don't mean I, because I don't use Windows.
You didn't upgrade?
No, I just don't use Windows.
Oh, you don't use Windows?
But some of the security holes that they're filling are, pretty interesting. I have seen these things before, though. There's there's virtualization based security was one of the features that they pointed out, which if you kind of read through it, it sounds a lot like sandboxing on iOS and Macs. There's also encryption features and a security chip, which are already in iOS devices. They call the T2 chip, I believe. But hardware security enclave or something. There's marketing speak in it a little bit, but it's good to see that Microsoft is taking it seriously.
Catch up a little bit.
The majority of the business world still uses Windows, so this is it's pretty big deal if they can deliver.
Yeah, the security chip is Microsoft's Pluton security chip that is starting to become available from some vendors. And the encryption change is they're adding, in addition to BitLocker, which is kind of system level encryption, they're adding file level encryption on top of that to add a new layer. And then they talk about some other miscellaneous phishing and malware prevention. I think the claim that it's is it reducing the attack surface? Sure, it's limiting some holes. It feels like a pretty strong statement, though. I feel like you could come away with a false sense of security if you're on. If you're just reading that and say, "Oh, I'm on Windows 11. They're shrinking the funnel. I'm safe and secure now. I don't have to worry about anything." I don't know if I'd go that far.
What do they call it when the company releases a feature that some other third party? Is it Sherlocking? Is that the word?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
So Windows is Sherlocking, cybersecurity vendors, basically. Like there's software out there that already plugs these holes in Windows. But now Windows is doing it for you for free. So that's going to be an interesting take. What happens to MSPs? Like, can they buy less software to protect their clients, and how does that shake out?
Well, they did that with Windows Defender. Eliminated. I mean, I haven't used third-party antivirus in years. I just rely on Windows Defender. Maybe somebody would hear that and be appalled, but I felt pretty safe with that. I feel like
you're going to be even more safe.
Generally safe behavior online anyway, though, so I don't worry about that too much. I do wonder, because I have not upgraded. I've asked around people, I use Windows 10. I've used Windows 10 for a while. I asked around to people I know who's upgraded, and everybody says that's mostly cosmetic. No compelling reason to upgrade unless you just like to have the latest and greatest thing, which generally I do. But upgrading is a hassle. I don't want to break anything. I do this show. I have my computer all set up the way I need it. I would be pissed if I downloaded Windows 11 and it screwed all that up. I have a hard time thinking that they're going to leave Windows 10 user hanging and not roll out some of these features for Windows 10. Does that seem likely?
I don't know. I don't really think about that.
Because they ran
backwards
into
backwards compatibility has always been Windows' Achilles heel, because they're trying to pull the users from XP all the way to Windows 8, and that was a detriment. Look at Windows, Internet Explorer, Internet Explorer 6 or something. It held the internet back for a decade or more.
Yeah,
just because Microsoft wanted to support legacy users, and I would encourage them to not do that. I mean, that's how
To not
other
support legacy
vendors.
users?
Yeah, that's how Apple does it. They'll,
Yeah.
support it back to this device, and if you're older than that device, sorry.
But that's
Like,
also
shoot.
why Apple is not the enterprise solution.
Well, that's true.
I mean,
But Apple already has most of this stuff and has for
I
years.
know. But you're not going to, I mean, so they went through this going from Windows 97 to Windows 2000. I think Windows Millennium was in there. I don't know if that sucked up a whole bunch of
No,
market
Windows
share.
ME.
Yeah, Millennium Edition. Windows XP was a big shift, but people loved XP, wanted to stay on that. They didn't want to move from XP to Windows 7. 7 ended up having decent adoption. 8 was kind of a disaster. Windows 10, I think, has done really well, but I know there are still a lot of businesses on Windows XP. Now they're pushing for 11. I feel like the major releases used to be a bigger deal because Windows 10 still feels modern and useful and effective to me. I don't see a compelling reason to upgrade. If they're saying it's going to be the security, okay, maybe I'll get dragged along. But there are 4 times as sorry. There are Windows 10 computers outnumber Windows 11 computers by 4-1. Even though most new PCs from vendors are shipping with Windows 11 pre-installed, deeply entrenched base of Windows 10 and probably still Windows XP computers out there that are getting security updates, even though Microsoft keeps threatening to shut them off. Eventually they will, but it takes such a long time for that to happen.
Are you saying you really know businesses that are running on Windows XP?
Do I know businesses today that are on Windows XP? I was more connected to that a couple years ago, and there definitely were. Maybe they've all moved over by now. Hopefully they've cycled those PCs out, but it would not surprise me even a little bit. I mean, I probably could have researched that before the show to find out, but
Who
I'll just
is
make the claim.
CEO of Windows now? Is it Sundar Pichai? Is that his name? So listen up.
Did they say that in the article? That sounds right. We'll just research it live. Fuck it.
I'm
We'll
pretty
do it
sure that's
live.
right. So,
Windows
public service announcement to Sundar.
XP market share.
You have
Today.
already introduced the Windows subsystem for Linux. It's great. It's like Ubuntu on Linux. I mean, on Windows. Sorry. So the next step is just to use Linux, Ubuntu or whatever. Use Linux as the subsystem, and then the whole world is POSIX, and we're like,
Problem
I can
solved.
see it. The vision is here. POSIX is the real deal.
Then you just use whatever Windows
Linus
manager
can
you
die
want.
happy.
Peter would be on board.
Yeah.
Windows XP still has 0.6% market share, so not very much, but still a bunch of computers out there running it.
Yeah.
And the problem is they're probably system critical computers for a lot of businesses. Otherwise, they would have upgraded them.
Yeah, they're probably like embedded systems, like at the drive-throughs or whatever. Have you ever seen a reboot screen like in a random place and you're like,
I love
that's
that.
Windows
Yeah,
XP?
that's funny.
I think I did it at Wendy's not a couple months ago. It was like rebooting.
Love it. So I guess we'll see when these updates come out in July. Maybe it'll be. Oh no, sorry. When did they say these are coming? Late 2022. Maybe there'll be compelling reason to upgrade. For now, I'm holding on Windows 10. Not feeling it. Don't want to go through a major upgrade. Sorry.